What's going on, everybody? This is Set4 here, and today or tonight I am back with another college football prediction video, and this time I'm going to be talking about the Missouri Tigers, who are 15th ranked in the nation, going on the road to face off the number 10th ranked team, Vanderbilt Commodores. Who would have ever thought? I probably would have never thought that Vanderbilt is ranked 10th in the nation. They just beat LSU. Missouri went on the road yet again to beat Auburn in overtime. That game was kind of a low-scoring game, but very defensive game, and so that was epic as well. And then Diego Pavia once again dominating, but on the ground. And LSU, Brian Kelly, he might be on the hot seat again. Who knows? But anyways, this is going to be a good game. I think this is going to be a battle-tested game once again for Vanderbilt. I think that is going to be Missouri. I wish they should have beaten Alabama. I think they had a chance to beat Alabama, but Alabama once again is on a roll. They just dominated Tennessee, and of course, that game was fun in the first half, but then the end of the sequence of the first half pretty much sealed the deal with a pick six for Alabama against Joey Aguilar. So that game was pretty epic the first half, but then after that it was just a downward spiral. But anyways. Vanderbilt versus LSU, great game. Went back and forth a little bit, and then Vanderbilt had the edge in the second half. And I think I forget LSU. I think they turned the ball over. They went for it on fourth down. And so yeah, that was a great game to watch. And of course, Missouri and Auburn going in overtime to win, or second overtime to win against Auburn on the road. All right. So as further ado, let's go ahead and go through this video. And this game will be played next weekend at October 25th. 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Thankfully, it is a midday game, so this is like a primetime classic game, in my opinion, for next weekend. So, I mean, it's crazy to think about. Missouri is ranked 15th in the nation, and Vanderbilt is ranked 10th in the nation. Never would have guessed that both these schools in the SEC, which the SEC is a downright gauntlet right now. It just Tennessee. You got Texas A&M. You got Tennessee and Texas coming back to life. They barely beat Kentucky, but they're 5-2 now. Florida, they just fired Billy Napier after beating Mississippi State, so that was writing on the wall regardless. So I think that was a smart move by Florida because Billy Napier, they have the talent there. They're inconsistent, and yes, it's the SEC, but they just struggled throughout the year. And of course, they lost to USF, so that kind of pretty much had the writing on the wall for this year as well. All right, so let's go ahead and go through the video. We got location will be at First Bank Stadium, which is at Vanderbilt in Nashville, Tennessee. I would love to go to one of those games just to visit. I've never been to Tennessee. Well, I've been to Tennessee, but I've never been to Nashville. So that'd be pretty cool to go to one of those games, or in Knoxville as well. So there you guys have it for the location is First Bank Stadium. And then last week's game, or yesterday, as you guys can see right here, Week 8. It's crazy that it's Week 9 already. So like I said before, Missouri went on the road to beat Auburn 23-17. It was a very low-scoring game. It was like 17-17, and Missouri was actually down, and they came back to go over overtime, and they pretty much won. So the record is 6-1 and 2-1 in the conference. Vanderbilt beat number 10th ranked LSU 31-24. That game was close to the end, and the running game for Vanderbilt just dominated LSU. They won 31-24. With the record of 6-1 and 2 wins and 1 loss. So I'll probably have to double check that just to make sure if I typed all that. All right, previous meeting last year. Funny enough, Missouri won in overtime against Vanderbilt. So I feel like this is going to be one of those games that's going to be very close and chaotic at the end, in my opinion. Missouri won 30-27 in overtime at September 21st of 2025. So that was kind of an early game. Conference game for them. Missouri leads an all-time series, 12 wins, 4 losses, and 1 tie as well. All right, so next we'll go to the top 3 offensive players and, of course, top 3 defensive players by position. So Bo Pribula, he went 23 for 40 with 252 passing yards, averaged about 6.3 per throw. He had 0 touchdowns. He had 2 interceptions, so not a great day for him, but he made some key moments in the game to help Missouri win against Auburn. Poor Auburn. Hugh Freeze might be fired too. A lot of guys being fired. And, of course, Clemson, they still have Dabo, and they just lost again. So the Dabo is on the hot seat. But anyways, that is what it is. All right, Ahmad Hardy, he went 24 carries, 58 yards, of rushing, and he had 2.4 average per carry. He had 2 touchdowns, so good day for him on the ground. We got wide receiver Donovan Ologbadi. I'm horrible with pronouncing last names or first names, so comment down below how do you pronounce that, and just roast me in the comments. I already know. It is what it is. So 5 receptions, 69 receiving yards, average about 13.8 per catch. He had 0 touchdowns on the air. So there you guys have for the top 3 offensive players for Missouri. Next, we got Diego Pavia. He went 14 for 22, 160 passing yards, averaged about 7.3 per throw. He had 1 touchdown and 0 interceptions. Didn't really do so much in the passing game, but Michaelin Young, he had 6 carries, 85 rushing yards, averaged about 14.2 per carry, and he had 0 touchdowns. I probably destroyed his first name, but my apologies. And of course, Diego Pavia also had the 2 touchdowns, and of course, Diego had that last touchdown quarterback run at the end, breaking it through the pocket, and so which was a clutch touchdown at the end. Wide receiver or tight end Cole Spence had 5 receptions, 56 receiving yards, averaged about 11.2 per catch, and had 1 touchdown as well. So there you guys have for the offensive players for Missouri and Vanderbilt. Next, we got top 3 defensive players by position. We got defensive lineman Zion Young with 5 total tackles, 3 solo, and 2 sacks. Linebacker Josiah Trotter, he had 8 total tackles, 7 solo, 1 sack. Defensive back for Santana Banner, I'm about to say 15. Santana Banner with 7 total tackles and 5 solos. So there you guys have it for Missouri. Then we have Vanderbilt. We got Josiah Singh with 4 total tackles, 2 solo, and 1 tackles for loss. Langston Patterson, the linebacker, with 5 total tackles, 5 solo, and defensive back C.J. Hurd, 4 total tackles and 2 solo. So those are your top 3 players of the offensive side and the defensive side. So now we can go to the full team stats. Total yards from Missouri had a solid day, 343 yards total, but defensively not so great. They had 357 yards allowed. Passing though, they had okay game with 252 passing yards. Defense only allowed 207, which is not bad at all. Rushing yards though, not great. They struggled on the running game with 91 yards on offense, and they had 150 yards allowed on defense, which is not bad. They had 2 turnovers, 4 penalties, and their time of possession was 32 minutes and 47 seconds. So there you guys have for Missouri. Vanderbilt, same way too. Defense, not so great. It was kind of a back and forth game. Offense, though, they had 399 yards on offense. They allowed 325 yards on defense. Passing, not so great. Diego Pavia should be a good quarterback. So he's a great quarterback. There you go. That's what I meant. But 106 yards is kind of low for him. And of course, defense, they only allowed 225 yards on defense, which is not bad. Rushing yards, offense, they did have 239 rushing yards on offense, which they were pretty dominant on the ground against LSU. And defense, they only allowed 100 yards on defense, which is pretty solid. They had 0 turnovers, 4 penalties, and their time of possession was 36 minutes and 31 seconds. So the time of possession is key for winning ball games too. All right, so my final prediction for this game, I think it's going to be a very close game, just like last year when Missouri won at Missouri, and I believe that this would be a game where Vanderbilt is just on a high right now. They are on momentum. They just beat LSU. They have the chance. If they beat Missouri, that is a key win for them. They could be looking at the conference championship. If they beat, I think they have Texas A&M or someone. I have to look at their schedule, but Vanderbilt could potentially go to the college football playoffs, because I was like, who would have thought Vanderbilt could potentially go to the college football playoffs? Diego Pavia might win the Heisman. Doubt it, but hey, it is what it is. I'm picking Vanderbilt here. Once again, my spread is -5, and my prediction will be 32-27. I think it's going to be a very close game, just like both games last week for Missouri versus Auburn, and of course, Vanderbilt versus LSU. I think these two teams are kind of a high pass throwing team, I think, but they also like to run the ball. I know that Bo Prabila likes to run the ball too, because I know that Missouri doesn't like to throw the ball downfield. So we'll see how that goes. Comment down below what you guys think. And set forward here. Y'all have a great rest of the night. And more videos on the way for this week. And see you guys next time. Peace out.